It's been nearly a year since Ashland's timber industry first opened its doors. It was believed to be the key to saving the economy, but it didn't, not really at all. So today, we're taking a smarter, much more obvious approach. We're finally developing the land that we've been sitting on. And while we're at it, I'm gonna fix one major thing that's been bugging me. Let's jump in. Alright, welcome back to Ashland. We're in a cargo port for a few reasons, and I'll just say that, you know what, for the most part, I do like it. It's not a showstopper by any means, but it's okay. What I really don't like is the lack of room we have to expand our cargo port. The industry, everything's just kind of really limited to this area right here. A big part of this is the bottleneck of Mosswood Street and the bottleneck of our highway. This just isn't a very good setup, and I should have realized this, but I can clearly see there's just some jarring issues that I just not a big fan of. So next up is we have our traffic, and there we go. You speak and it comes. This rural type of highway just isn't meant to carry all of this traffic. It's got what? Let's see, it has the port traffic, Sunnyside, Pinford, Brightwater, Redlow, plus the forest industry and the oil industry and the stone industry. It's all being carried on this road's back, and we're gonna make some improvements to this. So the first thing we're gonna do, and it's gonna be a bit rough, is we're gonna delete everything that didn't work. So let's start by doing that. I'm gonna wanna upgrade this to a 4-lane road, because we're going to connect into here. Let's grab our zonable 4-lane highway, and we're just going to do something kind of like this for now. And I'm probably not going to upgrade all of it just yet. I do want there still to be a transition. We might fix this in the future. Really, I just want to transition to a different type of highway. And the beauty about this is we can push this pretty far back. And let's go up about, I don't know, let's say 20 units. Let's see how that looks. And I think that right there should work pretty well. This gives us enough room to place some more industrial along here, which is really what I want to do. Oh yeah, we have tons of room, almost too much room. But it's fine because we can still do a bunch more stuff in this area. It's not over yet. Then with our parallel tool, let's just send this across, and let's go about 0.25 units. And we'll do something like that. And then we're going to branch off from here into this and then send it through our external connection, and this should really clean things up just a bit. And there we go. Now it's already such a big improvement in terms of the amount of space that we have to use. So from here, let's just take a quick look at this. It's not perfect, and it's not meant to be. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I think it's fine. Next up is that we need to get a connection into this port road and somewhere along here. And I just want to grab these 2 points and draw this in. Constant slope is on, ground level is on, and right about there. Now I'll delete this, and there we go. 9.9%, that's a bit rough. Let's see how that looks now. About 5.6%, I can take that. And then from here, let's try and get the same if we can. We'll want the slopes to be somewhat decent here because we will have, I imagine, some freight traffic either coming into the city or out of the city, even onto the highway itself. So that should work pretty well. And then we just need to connect back up to this part right here. And a nice connection that kind of comes in all the way around and feeds this entire area. Now over here, we're going to need to come underneath and connect into here somewhere. But also, it probably doesn't even make sense that this is a proper sidewalk road. So let's convert this right over to a zonable 2-lane highway. Now with that done, we're just going to go underneath this road. Okay, so here's our rework so far. This road now goes underneath this highway. Same with this one right here, and they both connect into our port. Now from here, we need to get some interchanges in, so let's quickly work on that. Okay, now aside from a few fixes, pretty much what I'm going to go with. Gives you a lot of range for movement, and it's highly efficient, for the most part at least. I'm going to finish up the road markings and the key walls. All right, and here we go. Here is the interchange. I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. I don't really think I'm going to do anything else for now. Now that we have this in place, I'm really interested to see how traffic is going to move, and I kind of want to see. So let's watch. So this won't solve all of our issues, but it does solve the core issue that we're trying to fix today, which is getting more space for some industrial development and just really cleaning up this area in general. So now that we have this, I think we're ready to add in some roads right here and expand our industrial area. And this area right here is just a bit more steep than the rest of this. So I think for now, we probably won't touch this area until we have a good reason to. But right here, we now have tons of room for development, which is amazing. And honestly, this area is just flowing so much better anyways. You can even see some of our traffic is actually clearing up, which is a massive plus. We have a few accidents, but that's okay. We'll just ignore those. And now let's get some industrial in here. I want the biggest buildings we can find. Those are our 6x6s. Do we have anything bigger? I don't think there is. Aside from our specialized or our signature buildings, we do have the paper factory, but I don't think that's a good fit for right there. We do have the switch on, and actually, this could make me want to develop it over here. It's just a slightly too tight. What about like right here? Still too tight. Oh, it's such a beautiful big asset. Maybe even right here, give it its own kind of waterfront. Because I feel like this is something like this is what we're missing, a nice big building. For now though, I don't want to get too off topic, so I'm just going to go through and just add in a bunch of different industrial buildings in here. I'm really trying to go for something like this, something that sticks out from the cargo port itself and feels a bit more bigger and more grander. You know, we have our kind of smaller industrial. I wouldn't say it's all small. I was trying to work with this area, but I do regret the fact that I went so small, and I wish I would have went a bit bigger in terms of our actual like buildings, smashing them together or doing whatever it takes, because I think this overall does look nicer. Then all I'd want to see from here is some pavement just in these areas. So I want to know how it's going to look. And something kind of like that. So we have a lot of space. We have nice big buildings. And I think it does look pretty good. I probably should have done some concrete here or some pavement just to change the look of this. That way it's not all grassy. Big improvement, even though it's such a small thing. I think we're going to do something similar along here. So let's get a few more in. There we go, and I think that's looking pretty solid. Let's drag out Aspen Meadows, and we'll just increase the size of this. We'll say pretty much to the highway. Okay, and it seems most of them have companies in here. It seems like these warehouses don't have anything, and that's fine. We do have the cargo harbor right here, and it's probably taking up most of our storage. And it actually seems like we do have some deficits in vegetables, metal ore, wood, and grain. I don't know how much those impact our economy because we have surpluses of pretty much all of them. Now I'm wondering if we can get our train connection into here. I think that could be pretty cool. So we'll probably branch off from here, go into right here, bridge over, and then connect somewhere right here. We'll have to do some work with the train, but I mean, if it's train, we're willing to do it. So we'll start with the hard part first, and that's getting our bridge over. Yeah, I think we'll have this connection just be for show, because we already have all of our train stuff happening here anyways, so I don't think we actually need it, or I don't think the game actually needs it. And then from here we can do just something very similar. So we'll add in our concrete, or we'll add in our pavement. Now let's drag this road out again. Just bring it a bit closer. And there we go. And from there we can probably drop some storage, I don't know, probably drop some of those cargo crates, really anything. And then we just need to connect back into our main line, which is pretty straightforward and easy. Now let's, I'm just gonna quickly add some trees along here, add some decals to these, and that's pretty much gonna be it for now. We're gonna move on to our next part. Okay, and that is looking really nice. Big improvement, more jobs, which is amazing. Oh wow, okay, so now we have 3,341 jobs. I guess not all of them filled in right away. This is amazing, perfect. And I'm gonna guess that we're gonna have a labor shortage here now, which is why we need to actually build some sort of town in these areas to help fill in the gaps. Okay, now I've broken this up into 3 different sections. We have our city, we have whatever this will be, and then I'm gonna have a conservation park here. So it'll just be protected forestry, just to make sure we have nice trees. You know, we're not using up all of this space. So right here, for our city, it's going to be a bit more denser than Sunnyside and all of these ones. It's kind of like Redlow, and I honestly, this brings me up to another point. I can't wait to connect these all together and just improve the look of them. Right now, they almost feel too disconnected, and it's not exactly what I was going for. Right here, though, we will be going pretty heavy grid. The only problem is we have a bunch of terrain to contend with, but I think for the most part, we can work with it. We just got to be gentle of what we do. To get started, I'm going to grab somewhere along here, let's say right about there, and I want to send this all the way down, and then from there I'll have roads that branch off and connect close to the highway but not entirely. And now this isn't as bad as I thought it was. It definitely looked a bit worse, but from here what we'll do is we'll pull this down, let's say about 1 circle of separation between the highway and the roads that'll go in. All right, now I just want to break this apart, and I want fairly large lot sizes. So maybe we'll go something kind of like this. And I'm just going to do that all across here. And actually, I'm thinking about this the wrong way, because even though we have the port right here, this is probably where most of the housing would front. The main thing I want to be careful about here is disrespecting the topography, but also at the same time, I need to give myself some leeway. I don't know how far we'll take this up, but I still want to expand maybe just a bit more than this, maybe to right here, just because this would be a pretty small town, and you'd probably expect something maybe a bit more substantial. I'm happy as long as the roads have a decent grade, so let's say under 6%, maybe 5%, and the houses aren't, I don't know, on giant cliffs. Those are the 2 things that bug me the most, and as long as we can achieve that, I think it'll be fine. I'm tempted to do something a bit different here and have some sort of a city center, kind of something like that. We'd have to do a bit of a terrain work, but I think that could look pretty interesting, given that everything else in here would be a grid. And then we either have some sort of city hall or a monument to our amazing cargo port. Probably not that, but we can have something. I'm going to break these apart. And I kind of just did it randomly here. It gives us 25, 25. Wow, not bad. I was actually pretty close. Let's say 25 here as well. Okay, and then that's an interesting little city. Let's add another connection right here. Now I'm also going to take this road right here and connect in, because we could probably curve our grid just slightly and still build up here as well. And then we'll do the same thing with this road. We want to curve it into this one. And then maybe just expand the suburbs right here. But for right here, I'm thinking primarily row homes, maybe a tiny bit of medium density, because this area would need the support and we'd need to cram more people into a smaller space. Okay, now I decided to break the grid up just a bit more. The lots were just way too big, and honestly, it would have made things even more difficult. So for plopping, we're really just going to go with our northeast row homes. I think they're going to look the nicest. We'll probably stay under level 4, just so we don't get any ones that are too big. Although I don't think it matters because level 4 is the same as level 5. So under level 3, I think. Actually, you know what? Let's just go with all of them. It doesn't even matter. And then we'll stick to a lot depth of... It depends on how tight we want these to be, but 3 and 2. So let's swap to 3, and we still have a lot of variation, so that's really nice. And we're just going to start plopping these down. I just gotta say, I really didn't realize how dense this area would be. It's honestly kind of surprising. It looked so much smaller when it was just the roads. And now that we have all of these in, I'm like, wow, this is actually a decent amount. There's 1,000 households here. I think it's pretty clean. I got rid of a lot of the super tall ones and just replaced them with some more small ones. I kind of like the color variation too. It does look really, it kind of almost looks like this area, but just a little bit less perfect. I think that's kind of cool. I want to add in some healthcare, some schools, some police stations, some fire stations, and a park. So let's start with our healthcare. This is an area of about 1,600 people, so it's decently substantial, but it is a pretty dense and tightly packed area. So I think I'll go with something like the small medical clinic, and maybe we'll place that. Yeah, I think I'll place it right about here. Then we'll set that to only operate in this district, and maybe Aspen Meadows too, why not? Then we need fire, and I think we can just use the Northeast Firehouse. Pretty much place this anywhere along with our development that's already occurred. Be somewhere like right there. Again, set that to this and this. For police, I think we could probably get away with this one as well. It fits the kind of old feeling. It's nice and compact on space. We'll place the police station right about here. And then we just need an elementary school. So where can we place one of these? I think we'll go with the small elementary school. I don't really like it, but for the size, it's kind of the best option. We could go with something like this, but that's a bit overkill. So we'll go with the small elementary school, and we'll place that. Now I'll place this right about here. And we do have the gymnasium upgrade, which we could snap onto right here, and this one for more capacity. I think I'm open to the gymnasium one, so let's get rid of those roads, and let's just snap this right onto here. Get a bit of height difference, that's fine, it's looking good. And then for a high school, I guess this is really our only option. And maybe we'll place that one right here should be fine. Police coverage, we got fire coverage, we got high school, we have an elementary school, we have a healthcare, death care, I almost forgot. Do we have death care in this area? I know we have one over here, I think. Is it just our crematorium somewhere around, oh, right there. And then it's our cemetery over here. So we definitely will need something. So let's just make a little spot for this crematorium. Before I zone anything else, I'm gonna click play and let this fill in. And I'm scared to see what the traffic is gonna look like. Let's see what the biggest issues are, and it's lack of entertainment and unreliable internet service. Lack of entertainment will be pretty easy. We'll just build out some parks, and I'd love to get some commercial in. I'd love to, but we have no demand for it. And then for the internet service, that one's a bit rough because it requires us to spend money while we're losing money. But hey, you gotta invest, so let me see. Where is our current internet tower? I honestly can't remember. It's been so long since I placed it. Okay, so it's right here, and wow, it's struggling right now as it is. And I don't think this building has any upgrades. No, it doesn't. So what we can do is, if we place another one somewhere over here, that could probably help bridge that gap, maybe improve the main part of Ashland as well. And I'm thinking, honestly, right here is probably the best place to put this. And then we'll just grab a gravel or a dirt road and we'll just connect right in. All right, now show me that our internet problem is solved. And yes, it is perfect. We have more people moving in and it's looking pretty good so far. All right, it's been a bit of a day for me. I had to take a break due to work, but I added in some more local roads, minimal alleyways. I really wanted to have a very suburban feel to this area. That way it matches what's on the other side. And for the most part, I really like it. I think it's gonna work really well. This will primarily be low residential. I still do want to have a couple medium density buildings on the right side of our development so far. And it looks like we're making a bit of money. I'm actually gonna click play so we can continue to make money. Now the first thing I wanna add is actually a football field. And I think this right here is a great place for one. And I really just wanna put that pretty much just like that. And then on this side, all I wanna do is come and grab our retaining walls and then just add them in here. And then just to make this look a bit better, I'll level this out all along here. Something kind of like that. And I think we could probably even add in the retaining wall here as well. I don't know how nice it's going to look though, so let's see. And I think what we'll have to do is slope up to here from here. And I kind of like that. It looks different and I can respect that for sure. Now we definitely need to get some parking in here. And I'm thinking that right now there's only one connection, right? And that's right here. For a stadium of this size and for the people that it would probably attract, and given the area that this is in, one connection probably wouldn't do it. So I was thinking we could probably just grab one of our alleyways and then just send this kind of up on the right side. Just pull that up just a tiny bit. And then actually we'll also slope up from here as well. And I'll probably do this for all of it. Committing atrocities against the terrain. And then I just want to pull this all the way up and then connect in. And then really we can grab, we could either use our one ways. I like these ones because they're smaller, or we could use our two ways wherever they are. Here they are. And we could do something like this. I think I might go with the one ways, but I'll try out the two ways first. Ooh, I feel like if I place that in, that's going to break a few things. So I'll leave that be for now. I think actually it probably makes more sense to bump these over. There we go. That's pretty much how I'll keep it. I think the only difference that we really need is to change these into the perpendicular. And we'll also add a few more over here on this side as well. There we go. And then something I think would be cool is to have some sort of walking path. I'm wondering, I wish we could connect these in. I would love that. It almost looks like it will accept the connection. It kind of will. That's interesting. And then I want to send that over like that. Oh, does it have to do the terraforming? Because I think this could look super cool if it didn't, and it does. What about the smaller ones? Would the smaller ones work? And I'd love to just get this like super close to here. No. And unfortunately, I just don't think this is going to work the way I wanted it to. It would have looked so nice though. I wish there was a version of these that just could stay ground level. So we will grab our paths instead. And we'll just run a few through here. Really, I just kind of want to make this look a bit, I don't know, friendly to pedestrians. Okay, I think I'm going to remove these ones right here, because I imagine we could probably have some shops or something down there if we can finally get commercial demand. I'd love to see commercial demand. I really, really would. It seems like the game just kind of hates us for now. I'm just going to clean up some of these road markings. Okay, so I also added the path through the middle of them and connected these two as well. And then really all that's left in this area is to place a few buildings down here. I would honestly just rather place commercial, I seriously would, but we don't have any, so I'm gonna place office. I'm going to put a key wall on this side. Oh, and that gets rid of the parking, I forgot about that. We can work with what we got. A lot of bit of difference to the area. Something to look a bit unique, I guess. Looks like we have some nice traffic in here, and that's probably because everyone's still moving in. Yeah, people want to leave. And this will be the weakness of having one interchange. I might consider adding one down here. It would have to be pretty compact though, just because I don't want to get too close to our map's kind of edge. But other than that, I think this is coming out pretty nicely, so I'm going to wait for these to fill in. And now before I leave this area, I need to add the grass back in. Oh, we're getting a little bit of lag here whenever I use the surface. Interesting. I have Better Bulldozer automatically delete all of the grass textures that come with surfaces, that come with buildings, because I honestly don't like them. I think it looks nicer when you don't have a bunch of manicured grass everywhere. Anyways, I'm going to finish up this area with a few trees, a tiny bit of detailing, and that's going to be it for here. Alright, and that's pretty much going to be it for our stadium. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I don't want to add any more citizens because I feel like I might start to experience some lag. There is a few unfortunate things that happened. And where is he? Where are they actually? There's a few of them. Oh, did they disappear? Oh no, there he is. This guy is stuck on here. And in order to delete him, I need to be able to click on him. And I just can't click on him for the life of me. I don't know of any other way to actually delete citizens. For example, if I click on one of these people, okay, now I can't click on them at all. I have no idea what's going on. It was also really tough, and some people will be orientated in a weird way because I couldn't spin them or rotate them. It wouldn't work for some reason. I don't know what was going on. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. We have a little stall here for either food, I imagine alcohol, drinks, whatever you want. Come sit down before the game. Over here is kind of like a place where either little farmers markets or little, I don't know, events could happen. And I tried to make it seem as if these were the lines. I don't actually know what these are. I don't really know anything about football. And so I just plopped a bunch of people over there. Try to get a bunch of people in front of all of these as well. Make it seem like it's actually busy. Put a bunch of decals down here just to give it some personality. I kind of like it. Put some ads on here. I was debating. I'm like, do these ads face this way? Or do they face that way? And I wasn't really sure. And it's a big contrast from what we currently have in main Ashland. Because I didn't really do too much for that one. I'm pretty sure I just placed it down, yeah. And this honestly feels rough compared to the one that we have over here. And I think my reasoning back then was just trying to keep it simple because the city was super small at that point in time. Now, we're going to move on to the rest of our zoning. And I'm thinking we'll have a little bit of extra density right here. I think it just makes sense. There's lots of row homes along here. And we'll keep this area kind of the same as how it is now. but right here in this pocket, we'll have a bit more density. And I'm actually thinking we could probably put our high school park here as well, which might be something we want to do. I always like to keep whatever upgrades these schools have inside the actual footprint of the network that it's on. I don't like the idea of placing it here because it doesn't really feel like it's a part of the school. Students would have to cross the road in order to get to here. And I've never personally seen that. Every school that I've seen has these attached directly to them, so no students need to cross any roads. So anyways, to summarize, I was thinking of placing this here, but I don't think there's enough room. So I think we might go for a bit more density. So I'm thinking maybe we could do something like this. I want to change that color scheme just a bit. I don't really like the way it looks. Be a bit more of a duller gray. The only problem that I have with the Japanese pack is the bright white roofs. They kind of blind me a bit and it drives me a bit crazy. I think the way around that is to grab one of these stains, and will it snap to the roof? Yes, it will. And that's not exactly ideal, but I don't mind it. It's better than what it was before, in my opinion. Now, we'll grab a parking road and just send it through here because this would need parking. Yeah, I think that should do the trick. I like these a lot, and I think they can work. Yeah, I think those look nice together. But now we'll need to vary it up just a bit. Maybe like 2 of these. Yeah, I think that can do the trick. And what is going on with our power? So we're definitely producing enough, and we're still exporting some. So this is a bottleneck somewhere. I mean, all of this makes sense. We should probably build a transformer somewhere closer to this area. I think we had one. Oh no, we have one in our recycling center, and it's bottlenecked. Yeah, I see. Or the highway's bottlenecked. So I'm gonna build the transformer probably right about here. Seems like as good a place as any. These need to pretty much go all the way down here and connect into the power line that I believe we have over there. And that right there should solve any issues we have. Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay, so then I decided to zone these in to see what we would get. Okay, now right away, I have a problem with all of these right here. I think keeping one of them is fine, maybe 2. So I'm gonna do that for now. And then I'm gonna see about just placing one of these here instead. And there we go. I'm pretty much happy with how that looks. I can easily start getting crazy about this, so I'm not going to. Last thing I want to do is just see if I can put a parking lot in here. I don't know how well it's going to fit. Yeah, and it works. There we go. And I think that looks pretty nice. Honestly, I think it does. It's not too crazy like I usually do. It's nice and simple. And I think if I need to do more medium density in this area, this is pretty much what I'm going to do. For now, I'm going to go out and finish off all the zoning. So around here will mostly be either row homes or single family homes. We'll have a bit of office along here because we can't have commercial. We'll have maybe a few warehouses or something like that down here. I haven't really decided on that yet. And that's pretty much going to be it. So I'm going to get into that right now. Okay, so I had a mid-panic attack while I was, finishing some of the zoning, and all of a sudden it said we had negative 6,000 population per hour. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And nothing's really happening. I mean, a few hearse icons, a few garbage icons, but nothing that's alarming to lose 6,000 people. So not sure what it was talking about, but we seem to be back fine. And I was going to do a bit of warehouses maybe along here, but I decided to hold off for it for now because there is absolutely no demand for warehouses, so there's not really much of a point. Functionally, aesthetically we could, but functionally it won't work, so it's kind of a dice roll of whether I'll do it or not. I think we're going to leave a few of these areas blank for either some sort of future expansion, services. I think I'd like to add a bus station in here, but is a tale as old as time. I blew all of our money on trees. So in the meantime, I'm going to put that project on hold. All right, looking at the port city, we have a total of 3,500 households, about 8,600 residents, 835 dogs. The average wealth is poor. We have 1,000 employees just in this area alone. In our actual port, we have 3,400 employees with 583 open positions. So even though we added in a bunch of residential near this area, it still didn't really satisfy that demand, which is fine. I think really what this is missing is proper transit, at least somewhere in here. Maybe there's a small area where the bus comes in and then goes back out, but also transit between all these other towns. Because right now, it's only this area that actually has transit. Nothing else does. And this is something I really do want to fix. I haven't touched transit in a long time. And it looks like we're having some pretty big fire issues. Tons of traffic here. Not surprising, a bunch of people are going to be moving in to this area. So that'll probably fix pretty soon. I'm just going to cut these. Goodbye. They're called now. Reduce some of our costs. And it's piling up here as well. It's going to lay the land for our garbage facilities. We have our recycling center, our landfill, our recycling center over here, but it only serves our geothermal power plant. Our recycling center here, and I believe that is it. In terms of our garbage trucks, I'm kind of surprised. I would have liked to see a bit more out. I'm honestly surprised why there isn't. So let's go down to our landfill and see. And I think it's just a space that's limiting this landfill right here. Yeah, so we're only using 7 out of 30 garbage vehicles, and that's just kind of bad. I guess we might as well fix it right now. Let's try. So first, I want to get rid of all these trees, and then I'm going to curve this road along here instead. Then I'll delete this one right here. And then with this, we should be able to just grab this and pull it out. I'm still not seeing any more vehicles go out. Maybe this will fix itself with time. And it's because it's only operating in 2 districts. Well, that explains why there's so many garbage problems. How did I not see that in the first place? Either way, we've given it a bit more room to operate. So a few extra hundreds of tons, that should do. And this building has been abandoned. I wonder why. This is one of the first areas we built. It was going pretty strong. I'd rather not get rid of it. Oh, it's a warehouse. Yeah, we have like no demand for warehouse. Not much I can do about that. That's unfortunate. Instead, I can place this building here in its place. And add a few more jobs into this area too. And there we go. So we're using more of our vehicles now, which is good to see. And hopefully these trash issues will start to clear up. I'm wondering what our little waste transfer facility is doing. So I'm going to set this to start emptying. And that should take a lot of this garbage somewhere else. And then what is going on here? Garbage, waiting for a hearse, waiting for ambulance. Yeah, this area just has a very big lack of service for healthcare. But I think I can probably sneak one of these small medical clinics in here somewhere. Maybe right here. And then we'll just have this serve the industrial park and Sunnyside Crossing. Now that should be a big relief to the city. Let's see. Yeah, of course, it's classic suburban sprawl design, where even these areas right here just aren't receiving the best of care. Most of our other areas are pretty fine. Same thing with the sprawl over here. It's not really receiving the best of care, but we're losing a lot of money, so I'm not going to worry about that for now. It's one of those unfortunate things of reality. Let's take a look at our police as well. So how's that doing? For the most part, if we're looking at coverage, our coverage is pretty good. Again, Sunnyside Crossing is losing out a bit. And maybe we could grab this one and also set it to Sunnyside. And that does improve it quite a bit. All right, now before I call it, Middleveen had another suggestion, and that was essentially for a little office park somewhere between Sunnyside Crossing and the industrial park. And it makes a lot of sense. It'll provide a bit of a separation, but also provide employment opportunities for the people here. All right, and here it is. It's nothing crazy. I wanted to keep a bit of separation from the industrial zone, so I didn't zone anything in here. I added a few paths along here and connected this one into here and here. So just a little bit more connectivity, you know, something just a bit extra. And I definitely do think that fills in the area a bit nicer. I want to do this one too, but I'll probably save that for a later date. As of right now, that's going to be all. We are struggling so hard to hold on to a decent budget. I've increased the bus lines all to $8 in the hopes that it'll increase some of our revenue. So really what I want to see here is our fees going up and hopefully generating a decent amount of money that will help sustain us for the meantime. I don't really like doing that. I liked the bus tickets exactly what they were. Cost $2 to ride the bus. That seems reasonable. Right now it's $8. And I know there's the correlation between real life money and City Skylines 2 money is obviously completely different, but still in my head, of course, it hurts a bit. So I want to try and avoid this. The second we get positive again, I want to start taking this down and bringing it back down to $2. It kind of looks like we're getting there, but of course we drop back down right after. And it looks like we're not even exporting electricity anymore, which is kind of interesting. And actually we're importing $270,000 worth of electricity. And that leads me to believe that maybe this area isn't actually connected, because if that's the case, that's a pretty easy fix. I'm going to try a quick fix. I don't know if it'll work. And I'm doing all this extra stuff without even thinking about what we're actually producing. Let's go take a look at our geothermal power plant. What's the issue? Okay, so we have a major trash issue. And the trash issue is making this produce at a lower efficiency. That makes so much sense. I don't know what I was thinking about going over there to try and fix that. So all of this says to me that we need a new landfill. And I think that's something we're going to save for the next episode. So for now, that's going to do it. Let's hop into a quick before and after. Alright, and that's a wrap. I think once we solve the garbage issues with another landfill, our budget should finally be in a good place, and hopefully not bounce back and forth after that. Either way, I really hope you enjoyed. As always, big shout out to our Patreon members, Ganger, Shant, Griffin, and Nicholas Fonseca. If you want to help support the channel, check out Ashland for yourself, or you just want to hear me shout out your name at the end, head over to Patreon. If you haven't already, a like, comment, and subscription really go a long way. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.